fog hung low over Hamilton, Ontario, on March 6, 1946, cloaking the city's steel mills and cobblestone streets in a ghostly veil. The air was thick with the acrid tang of coal smoke, mingling with the damp chill rolling off Lake Ontario. At 8:17 p.m., Evelyn Carter stepped off a streetcar on Barton Street, her heels clicking against the wet pavement. At 25, Evelyn was a vision, raven hair pinned in soft waves, lips painted crimson, her emerald coat cinched tight against the evening's bite. But her eyes, sharp and restless, betrayed a storm beneath the surface. She clutched a small suitcase, its leather worn, as she hurried toward the escarpment, where the city's heart pulsed with secrets. Evelyn was no stranger to whispers. Hamilton knew her as the glamorous wife of Thomas Dick, a 39-year-old streetcar conductor with a quiet demeanor and a modest flat on Carrick Street. Their romance had been a whirlwind, met in a smoky dance hall in 1944, married within months, a fairy tale for a war-weary town. But the fairy tale had soured. Thomas was steady, his calloused hands stained from years of labor, his love for Evelyn fierce but possessive. Evelyn, vibrant and untamed, craved more: glitter, freedom, the kind of life she saw in magazines. Their marriage, barely a year old, was fracturing, and tonight, Evelyn was coming home after weeks away, promising Thomas a fresh start. In her suitcase, tucked beneath silk scarves, was a gift: a silver cigarette case engraved with his initials. A peace offering, she'd told herself, though her heart raced with something darker. The streetcar's bell faded as Evelyn climbed the escarpment path, her breath visible in the cold. The Dick flat was a narrow red brick row house, its windows dim. Odd, she thought. Thomas always left the porch light on. A sleek black sedan idled across the street, its driver obscured by shadow. Evelyn's pulse quickened, but she dismissed it. Probably a neighbor, she reasoned, though the knot in her stomach tightened. The air carried a faint metallic scent, like rust, and the silence was too heavy, broken only by the distant hum of the mills. Her key turned in the lock, the door creaking open to a house that felt wrong, too still, too cold. The familiar smell of Thomas's pipe tobacco was gone, replaced by something sharp, chemical, like bleach. In the hallway, a man's coat hung askew, not Thomas's. Her heart thudded as she set the suitcase down, her eyes catching a smear on the floorboards, dark, glistening. "Thomas?" Her voice trembled, echoing unanswered. A faint light spilled from the kitchen, and she moved toward it, her heels loud in the quiet. The kitchen was chaos. Dishes shattered, a chair overturned, and on the table, a half-empty bottle of whiskey beside two glasses. Then she saw it. A trail of blood, stark against the linoleum, leading to the back door. Evelyn's scream caught in her throat as the back door swung open, revealing a man, tall, wiry, with slicked back hair and a face she knew too well. Donald McLean, a local mechanic with a dangerous charm, stood wiping his hands on a rag, his eyes glinting with panic. "Evie," he said, his voice low, urgent. "You weren't supposed to be here." Her gaze darted to the rag, stained red. "Where's Thomas?" she demanded, her voice rising. Donald stepped closer, his breath sour with liquor. "He's gone, Evie. You know why." Her world tilted. She stumbled back, her mind racing to the late-night calls, the stolen kisses, the promises Donald had whispered. Promises of a life bigger than Hamilton, if only Thomas was out of the way. "What did you do?" she whispered, her eyes locked on the blood trail. Donald's laugh was hollow. "What we did, Evie. You wanted him gone. I made it happen." Her stomach churned. She'd flirted with the idea, yes. Vented to Donald about Thomas's jealousy, his tight grip on her dreams. But murder? She shook her head, tears burning. I never said to kill him. Donald's face hardened. Don't play innocent. You knew what I was. You loved it. He grabbed her arm, his grip bruising. We're in this together now. Evelyn wrenched free, bolting for the door, but Donald was faster, blocking her path. You run. They'll find you, he hissed. They'll find us. Help me clean this up, or we're both done. Her mind screamed to flee, but fear rooted her. She followed him to the backyard, where a tarp covered something bulky, unmoving. The metallic scent was overpowering now, and when Donald lifted the tarp, Evelyn's knees buckled. Thomas's body lay there, his throat slashed, his eyes open, lifeless. The man who'd loved her, who'd danced with her under the stars, was gone. Her sob broke the silence, but Donald's voice was cold. Cry later. We need to move him. The next hours were a blur of horror. Donald hacked at the body with a saw, his hands steady, practiced. Evelyn, trembling, helped wrap the pieces in burlap, her mind numb. They drove to the escarpment's edge, near Albion Falls, and dumped the remains down a ravine, the darkness swallowing them. Back at the flat, they scrubbed the floors, the bleach burning Evelyn's hands. Donald burned his clothes in the alley, the smoke curling into the fog. No one will know, he said, his eyes daring her to believe him. But Evelyn knew better. Hamilton was a city of eyes, and secrets never stayed buried. 10 days later, on March 16, 1946, children hiking near Albion Falls found a grisly discovery: a headless, limbless torso wrapped in burlap, half hidden in the underbrush. The news ripped through Hamilton like wildfire. Torso murder shocks, Steel City. The police identified the victim as Thomas Dick, his dental records a grim match. Evelyn, now living with her parents, was questioned immediately. Her beauty and charm, once her armor, made her a suspect. The city buzzed with rumors: her affairs, her late-night drives with men like Donald, her black book of lovers. At the station, Detective William Fraser, a grizzled veteran with sharp eyes, pressed her. Where were you on March 6th, Mrs. Dick? Evelyn's voice was steady, her tears practiced. Visiting my mother. Thomas and I were separated. I hadn't seen him in weeks. But the evidence mounted. Neighbors reported hearing screams from the Dick flat that night. A butcher testified to selling Evelyn a cleaver days before. Bloodstains, invisible to the eye but glowing under luminol, were found in the kitchen. The most damning came weeks later, when police searched Evelyn's attic. In a suitcase, encased in cement, was the body of her infant son, Peter David White, born in secret and dead before his first birthday. Evelyn's facade cracked. She confessed to the manslaughter of her child, claiming he died of neglect, but denied killing Thomas. Donald did it, she sobbed. He was obsessed with me. I couldn't stop him. The investigation spiraled into a true crime saga, one of Canada's most sensational. Donald McLean was arrested at a bar, his alibi crumbling under scrutiny. A search of his garage uncovered a saw with traces of human tissue. Text messages didn't exist in 1946, but love letters did. Steamy notes from Evelyn to Donald, hinting at a life without Thomas. He's in the way, Don. I want us to be free, one read. At trial, prosecutors painted Evelyn as a femme fatale, orchestrating Thomas's murder to escape a stifling marriage. Donald's defense claimed Evelyn had seduced him into it, her beauty a weapon. The courtroom was a circus. Reporters scribbled, locals packed the gallery, and Evelyn's testimony shocked the nation. She admitted to sleeping with over 150 men, a scandal in the conservative 1940s. "I loved Thomas once," she said, her voice breaking. "But he wanted to own me. I needed to breathe." The trial revealed a darker truth about their romance. Thomas, smitten from the start, had ignored Evelyn's restlessness, her flirtations at dance halls. He'd found her diary, listing lovers, and confronted her, his jealousy erupting in fights. Evelyn, trapped between his devotion and her hunger for more, turned to Donald, a man with a rap sheet and a dangerous edge. Their affair, born in stolen moments, became a pact sealed in blood. Financial records showed Evelyn had drained Thomas's savings, buying furs and jewelry, while Donald's gambling debts pushed him to act. The prosecution's star witness, a cab driver, testified to driving Evelyn and Donald to the escarpment that night, their laughter chilling in hindsight. On October 7, 1946, Evelyn was convicted of murder and sentenced to hang, the gallows looming at Barton Street Jail. The city was divided. Some saw her as a monster, others a woman trapped by circumstance. An 11th-hour appeal by lawyer J.J. Robinette, a rising star, spared her life, citing tainted evidence. A second trial acquitted her of Thomas's murder due to coerced statements, but the manslaughter conviction for her son's death stuck. She was sentenced to life at Kingston Penitentiary for Women. Donald, convicted of murder, faced the noose in 1947, his final words cursing Evelyn. "She ruined me," he spat, the rope silencing him. The tragedy didn't end there. During the investigation, police found remains believed to be Evelyn's daughter, Heather, though never confirmed. The mystery of Heather's fate, alive or dead, haunted Hamilton. Evelyn's parents, shunned by the city, fled to Toronto. The Dick flat was demolished, its lot cursed in local lore. Thomas's family, grieving in silence, erected a small memorial near Albion Falls, where flowers still appear each March. The case, dubbed the Torso Murder, became a cultural touchstone, inspiring books, plays, and a 1970s TV movie. True crime author Brian Vallee's 2001 book, The Torso Murder, The Untold Story of Evelyn Dick, detailed her life post-release, though her whereabouts after 1958 remain unknown. Evelyn was paroled in 1958 at 38, vanishing into obscurity. Some say she remarried, living quietly under a new name. Others believe she died alone, her secrets buried. At 95, she's likely gone, but Hamilton still whispers her name. The case changed the city. Police reformed evidence handling, and women's shelters emerged, inspired by Evelyn's trapped desperation. For Thomas's loved ones, the pain lingered. His sister, Mary, spoke at a 1950 vigil. He loved her too much. It cost him everything. Marcus Carter, a fictional firefighter inspired by the era's working-class heroes, enters here as a narrative bridge. In our reimagining, Marcus is Thomas's cousin, a 32-year-old widower who'd warned Thomas about Evelyn's wild streak. On March 6, 1946, Marcus was on duty at Station 8 when the call came. A torso found near Albion Falls. He didn't know it was Thomas until hours later, when police summoned him to identify a watch found in the ravine, engraved with Thomas's initials. The betrayal hit like a sledgehammer. Marcus had trusted Evelyn too. She'd been a sister to him, her laughter filling family dinners. Now, she was a stranger who'd destroyed his kin. Marcus's confrontation came months later, during a prison visit before Evelyn's second trial. The Kingston Penitentiary's visiting room was stark, the air heavy with disinfectant. Evelyn sat across from him, her beauty faded, her eyes hollow. "Why, Evie?" Marcus asked, his voice raw. "He loved you." Evelyn's gaze dropped, her hands twisting. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I just wanted to be free." Her words were a knife, cutting through years of memories. Her teasing Thomas at picnics, her promises to be family. Marcus stood, his chair scraping. "You didn't just kill him. You killed us all." He walked away, her sobs echoing behind him. The investigation was a masterclass in true crime. Detective Fraser's team used early forensics, blood typing, fiber analysis, to link the crime scene to Evelyn and Donald. The suitcase in the attic, found by a rookie cop, was a turning point, its cement casing a grim signature. Court records, preserved in Hamilton's archives, detail Evelyn's conflicting stories, her charm unraveling under cross-examination. Social media didn't exist, but newspapers fueled a frenzy, printing lurid headlines. "Torso killer's lover tells all." The trial's twists, Evelyn's acquittal, Donald's execution, the baby's discovery, kept Canada riveted, a real-life soap opera of love and death. Marcus's life unraveled post-trial. He quit the fire department, haunted by Thomas's face in every flame. Nightmares of the escarpment plagued him, the metallic scent of blood lingering. His crew tried to help, beers at the tavern, fishing trips, but grief was a shadow he couldn't outrun. Hamilton's gossip didn't help. "She bewitched them both," locals said. Poor Thomas never had a chance. Marcus found solace in a community center, where he started counseling others who'd lost loved ones to violence. Slowly, he spoke at churches, his story a warning. Love can blind you. Don't let it bury you. By 1948, Marcus opened Dick's Kitchen, a soup kitchen on James Street, honoring Thomas's memory. The neon sign, shaped like a streetcar, glowed against the fog, a beacon for the broken. He signed the lease with a trembling hand, memories flooding back. Thomas teaching him to fish, Evelyn's laugh at Christmas. His phone rang, a pastor inviting him to speak. "People need to hear you," she said. Marcus nodded, the weight still there but lighter. Hamilton moved on, its mills churning, its streets bustling. But the escarpment held its secrets, the ravine, a silent witness. Marcus's life was a mosaic of scars. Thomas's death, Evelyn's betrayal, the baby's ghost. He carried them, letting them fuel his purpose. At Dick's Kitchen's opening, he faced a crowd. Workers, widows, survivors. His voice shook, but his heart was full. "I lost my cousin to a love that turned dark. Evelyn broke him, broke us. But I'm here, building something new. Not because I'm whole, but because I'm more than her lies. So are you." The crowd was silent, their eyes reflecting shared pain. Marcus continued, his voice steadier. "Love can be a fire, warm or deadly. Choose wisely, rebuild, heal, for you, not them." The applause was soft, healing. Marcus stepped down, the weight lighter still. By the lake, he stood alone, the fog curling around him. The kitchen glowed behind, Thomas's spirit in its warmth. The camera, if there, would zoom out. Marcus's silhouette against the water, broken but standing, a testament to survival. This story draws from the real Evelyn Dick case, a tragedy that gripped Canada. Evelyn, acquitted of her husband's murder, but convicted for her son's death, vanished after parole, her fate a mystery. Thomas, fictionalized here, was a victim of a romance that turned fatal, his trust betrayed by a woman who captivated and destroyed. If their story moved you, if you've ever faced a love that burned, like, share, and subscribe. Healing starts with us, turning pain into purpose. Thank you for watching. May you find peace in the darkest moments.